Welcome to the Urantia book. This is hands down the most advanced and most uplifting spiritual information on the entire planet. It synthesizes all of the gems of wisdom from all of your other traditions, even into the New Age, without the religious dogmas, without the rituals or various things that you need to adopt. Remember, this is a breaking of the shackles, and that's what spirituality is intended to be. Remember, the most important aspect of spirituality is within you, in the form of your own fragment of God. The Urantia book calls that the thought adjuster, and that is your pilot and your guide throughout this life, the next life, on into eternity. But remember, it is your choice if you are going to accept that guidance or reject it. If you are here watching this video, you are definitely accepting that guidance. And can you imagine that fragment of divinity from within you? I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you believe every single fact in this book. If you are a godly person, and now you're taking the time to dwell your mind on deity, divinity, advanced values, advanced virtues, then the universe is smiling upon you. And each time you make one of those positive choices, you do two things. The first is that you are saving yourself out of something down the road. And this is minute, folks. We're talking about perfection. This is a perfect universe. No goodness ever gets unnoticed. No act, even if you had 6 beers and you say, no, I'm not going to have the 7th. I'm going to prioritize. I know I'm already in the bag here, but I don't want to. I don't want to, do it to my body. That tiny little thing is going to change some aspect. You're going to save yourself. Maybe it's a medical bill down the road. Maybe you would have fallen and hit your head if you had the 7th. Maybe you would have gotten into a car, okay? So those minor details. You're making a choice right now to dwell on advanced spirituality, God, and the God within. The second thing that happens is that you qualify for something greater down the road, okay? So it's not only that you're saving yourself out of something, but you're upstepping your status in the universe every single choice that you make. So it's not just, I'm just saving out of negativity. It's saying, now I'm ready for more. What do you got, universe? This could be something that comes to you during this world, whether it be a better relationship, better career, or it could be preparatory for the next world and the next life. The next phase of our existence is the Morcha Phase. You can skip these levels, people. The pace belongs to you. This is talking about the lower planes of Moranam Moda. Moda is simply the, let's call it a advanced philosophy that bridges the gap between the material and the spiritual. You can't even really call it a philosophy, but you'll see when we read this, okay? But you can skip these lower aspects. You can skip all of the mansion worlds, and there's 7 of them. Who knows how far you can take it, even just in this life. So prioritize, folks, because this stuff is coming, right? This is your destiny. This is your destiny. The lower planes, and not only in doing that, will you, you're going to change your life right here and right now, okay? So you're living this life to its fullest, but yet you're doing it in a well-balanced, well-poised way. Moranam Moda. The lower planes of Moranam Moda join directly with the higher levels of human philosophy. On the first mansion world, it is the practice to teach the less advanced students by the parallel technique. That is, in one column are presented the more simple concepts of Moda meanings, and in the opposite column, citation is made of analogous statements of mortal philosophy. So picture that. You got 2 columns. This one, they're saying these are your human philosophies, and this is the advanced Moda version of that, just so you can start to bridge the gap. Not long since, while executing an assignment on the first mansion world, and this is an archangel writing this, of Satania, that's our system, which has, I don't know if it's something like 1,000 inhabited worlds that make up a system. And this is amongst trillions of inhabited worlds, so it's just a smaller grouping. I had occasion to observe this method of teaching, and though I may not undertake to present the Moda content of the lesson, I am permitted to record the 28 statements of human philosophy, which this Morancha instructor was utilizing as illustrative material designed to assist these new mansion world sojourners in the early efforts to grasp the significance and meaning of mota. These illustrations of human philosophy were, all right, so remember, we're talking about the two columns. The archangel can't tell us about the moda aspect. That's something that we'll have to attain those levels in order for them to even make sense, probably, to us. But they will tell us about the human philosophy. So these are the lessons that the direct lessons that you are going to be learning in the very next world. 1. A display of specialized skill does not signify possession of spiritual capacity. Cleverness is not a substitute for true character. So even when we look at our political leaders, there's a great one-liner that says something like, mankind has an overabundance of ideas, but he is poverty-stricken when it comes to ideals. Few persons live up to the faith which they really have. Unreasoned fear is a master intellectual fraud practiced upon the evolving mortal soul. Inherent capacities cannot be exceeded. A pint can never hold a quart. The spirit concept cannot be mechanically forced into the material memory mold. So we talk about that. We say you can't fit 9 ounces into an 8-ounce cup. You know, you're not going to be the central Godhead. You don't know the names of every single universe in the entire cosmos right now. So don't think that you're God, but you're indwelt by a fragment of God. Okay. Few mortals ever dare to draw anything like the sum of personality credits established by the combined ministries of nature and grace. The majority of impoverished souls are truly rich, but they refuse to believe it. Remember that. Remember that. You are truly rich. So don't go around thinking, oh, woe is me. You have this wealth within you, a spiritual wealth which transcends material wealth. Difficulties may challenge mediocrity and defeat the fearful, but they only stimulate the true children of the Most Highs, okay? And that's just another word for deity and divinity. You're not being challenged because you're not mediocre, all right? You've awakened the spirit within you. They're going to stimulate you to enjoy privilege without abuse, to have liberty without license, to possess power and steadfastly refuse to use it for self-aggrandizement. These are the marks of high civilization. Tell that to every single world leader. Some of them maybe understand it. Blind and unforeseen accidents do not occur in the cosmos. Neither do the celestial beings assist the lower beings who refuse to act upon his light of truth. So nobody's going to hand it to you, and you want to earn it, because then after you do, you can say, I did this. Effort does not always produce joy, but there is no happiness without intelligent effort. Action achieves strength. Moderation eventuates in charm. Righteousness strikes the harmony chords of truth, and the melody vibrates throughout the cosmos, even to the recognition of the infinite, okay? So that's righteousness. And this is, think of it as a melody vibrating out there. It's impossible to stop. The weak indulge in resolutions, but the strong act. Life is but a day's work. Do it well. The act is ours. The consequence is God's. The greatest affliction of the cosmos is never to have been afflicted. Mortals only learn wisdom by experiencing tribulation. Okay, so this world is, everything in the universe is set up and designed with a specific purpose. It's supposed to be this way. They didn't force it to happen. It's just an inevitability, okay? That doesn't mean that you have to go into the hardest situation possible or go into prison just to get that experience or anything like that. It's not saying it has to be some sort of extreme tribulation. It's just the average tribulation is good enough, folks. Stars are best discerned from the lonely isolation of experiential depths, not from the illuminated and ecstatic mountaintops. Deep stuff, deep stuff. Whet the appetites of your associates for truth. Give advice only when it was asked for. Okay. Another good line, another good one-liner is what is it? Backing down. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. When I think of it, I'll let you know. Affectation is the ridiculous effort of the ignorant to appear wise, the attempt of the barren soul to appear rich. You cannot perceive spiritual truth until you feelingly experience it, and many truths are not really felt except in adversity. So it's saying this we shouldn't just look for a life of ease, but don't do things to bring extra BS into your life either. Ambition is dangerous until it is fully socialized. You have not truly acquired any virtue until your acts make you worthy of it. Okay, so it's just a dead philosophy inside of your head that you feel like you're this virtuous person. You got to show it. Impatience is a spirit poison. Anger is like a stone hurled into a hornet's nest. So just write that on your heart and embed that in your mind, okay? So when anger comes up, you can take that free will choice and say, now, I'm going to choose my higher nature in this moment. And that's what it's about. Anxiety must be abandoned. The disappointments hardest to bear are those which never come. Beautiful statement. That's a big one too in this planet, anxiety. Only a poet can discern poetry in the commonplace prose of routine existence. The high mission of any art, by its illusions, is to foreshadow a higher universe reality, to crystallize the emotions of time into the thought of eternity. Beautifully said. The evolving soul is not made divine by what it does, but by what it strives to do. Again, that's a very good, that's how the soul is made divine. That's very, very good. That's a breaking of shackles right there, okay? Because you might want to change the world, but they're just not going to listen. And so you strive for that. That's your heart's desire. You will be in a situation at some point in your universe career where you can change a world with your spiritual outlook. Here's a great one. Death added nothing to the intellectual possession or to the spiritual endowment, but it did add to the experiential status, the consciousness of survival. Okay, so that's what we learned about this in the previous video. Death doesn't do anything for you. You didn't have to do anything to earn death. All you had to do was maybe abuse yourself for 60 to 100 years and then go into an early grave because of heart disease or something like that. The universe shouldn't bequeath you these great things just because you did death, right? But what it is saying is that when you're resurrected, you gain that experiential status of saying, wow, survival is an actuality in the universe. So all those debates on Earth on what happened after we died and everything, I guess I know the answer. I literally will know the answer because I have survived. The destiny of eternity is determined moment by moment by the achievements of the day-by-day living. This could be the most important statement in the entire book. The acts of today are the destiny of tomorrow. Think about that. That is where you're heading, okay? That's why it's not some far off thing. It's right here and right now, the moment. In the East, they like to talk about the moment, right? Well, that's destiny is determined in that moment, so it gives it even more importance. Greatness lies not so much in possessing strength as in making a wise and divine use of such strength. Wow. Knowledge is possessed only by sharing. It is safeguarded by wisdom and socialized by love. Okay, that's probably the single most important word in the book. All right. So you're not possessed of something, remember, until you're ready to give it away. You're not possessed in that knowledge. You don't even possess it. It's possessed only by sharing, okay? It's not even yours unless you're sharing it. Progress demands development of individuality. Mediocrity seeks perpetuation and standardization, right? Remember, we want unity, not uniformity. The argumentative defense of any proposition is inversely proportional to the truth contained. Right, okay. Oh, that was the statement that I was trying to think of. The better part of valor is backing off. So remember that when you get in a political debate or anything like that. As soon as it starts to turn to now the person's not receptive, now you back off. You tried, you showed the universe that you put forth effort to change a mind or to enlighten somebody if you're trying to talk about spirituality or something. And if they're not receptive, back off. The argumentative defense of any proposition, all right, is, yeah. Such is the work of the beginners on the first mansion world. See, I'm not even at these levels where I've possessed all of these, right? So I'm not even a beginner here. While the more advanced pupils on the later worlds are mastering the higher levels of cosmic insight and Morcha Moda. So just some super key little nuggets of wisdom, folks. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, please, and check out the Urantia book for more of this profound. Remember, look at these here. Let's check this out. This is what we read, right? Look at this. Can you see how big, how much wisdom is contained in this book? Those was just those 2 little pages. So this is really the real deal here, folks. So thanks again.